looking back at my experiences, dude, I can't even fathom that I'm still alive. So I guess the only place where I'm not like tripping on that is like when I'm surfing, because it's just like a pure endeavor. Like you don't have to stress on anything. It's just in the moment. That's all you need to be worried about. So I start going up. I'm the last one. And I just remember getting so pissed because there was dust getting kicked up. And I thought, it didn't click for a second. I was just so mad. I was like, oh, you know, we even opened up dispersion and I'm still back here sucking dust. And then it dawned on me. I was like, oh shit, we're getting blown up right now. And I distinctly remember having enough time to process that and look at my driver and say, oh fuck, right when the explosion happened. And I just remember this dull thump. I remember like having the air knocked out of me. Like I remember my armor plates lifted away from my chest and then like smacked back in. And in the middle of this whole thing, I'd picked up my radio handset to tell somebody that we were getting smoked. And I remember right when the explosion happened, my arm hit like the center console in the truck and like pushed my arm back. And then I don't know if I hit the dash first or the window first with my head, but both of them were cracked afterwards and my helmet was caved in. And then in the middle of the whole thing, like after the thump of the explosion, I just looked up through the windshield and saw like the wheels from my mine roller that extends out in front of the vehicle. I just saw them like flutter up into the air and then they landed in a stack on like this hillside. I got out of the military in February 2014 and I went straight into an office job and I just hated it and I quit, started school, but I ended up going to the PTSD clinic at the VA hospital. And I think the nature of the problems I was having, it's like when you're in, it's stuff you don't notice. It's on the back burner in your mind because you have too much other stuff to worry about. But it's like when you get out and you now have the time to sit down and really reflect and try and, you know, go through everything that you experienced. I think that's where a lot of the problems come from. So yeah, I went to a PTSD clinic and the first thing they do is like, oh, well, like, let's get you on some medications, and it's like SSRIs or some shit. So they always recommend you, oh, like, try this medication. So I had a couple of my good friends that, you know, started doing that medication and it was almost instant, the change in their personality. And it wasn't a change for the better. They just seemed to be kind of on autopilot. And when I went to the PTSD clinic, they recommended that for me. And I was like, no, man, I've seen what that does. I think surfing kind of fills that void. You know, I love going on combat deployments. Like, that was my thing. But, you know, with politics, foreign policy, and all that, we got to a point where my type of unit was no longer needed to deploy. So that's why I got out, and I think I needed something to fill that void, and that's kind of what surfing did for me.
We watched the light as it set from the sun, all the ways we could run, all the ways we could run. Oh my, yeah. Can you see the light from outer space? What was said, what was done as the time had arrived, all the ways we could run, all the things we could try. Oh my, yeah. Can you tell me where this is gonna lead? And all the lights are shining on the sea as the rolling waves crash along the beach. And our minds were meant to sail, take a rest from our thoughts, take a break from this world, and we'll feel miles away from the places that we used to be. As we lay in the sand and we stare at the sky, watch the moon dancing white as the stars light your eyes. Oh my, yeah, there's no place on earth I'd rather be.
You don't really have to think about any of the things that, you know, may be stressing you out, whether it's homework or your existence or finances or, you know, anything that would stress anybody out. In the water, that's gone. You're just, you know, staring at the horizon, waiting for a wave to come. And then once that wave pops up, it's the craziest thing. Like, your body just knows what to do, and you don't even have to think about it. It's just pure joy. I think for sure, at least for me, that's definitely more beneficial than taking some pill every day.